immer, ne? Hello everybody and welcome to the very first Games Lift graduation. We are streaming live here from Design Export in Hamburg. I'm Maggie, Project Manager for Game City Hamburg.
Thank you, Maggie. Also welcome from my side. Welcome to all members of the German Bundestag, everybody from the Ministry of Culture and Media Hamburg, and especially the media office. Welcome to all our viewers in the live stream and our mentors watching in the live stream. We appreciate it very much that you join us tonight and take the time. And of course, a special welcome to all our teams we have here in the Design Export with us. I'm Dennis Schuby, Project Lead of Game City Hamburg. And tonight is the Games Lift graduation. It's the final event of our new incubation program here in Hamburg. And we build up a new incubator for game developers. It's the first time that the 5 teams of this year's batch present their projects to the public. And all teams come out of a 3-month program that provided financial support with up to 15,000 euros, workplaces at a co-working space, and hands-on workshops with our mentors. Our founders and startups received lots of good advice over the last 3 months, and they spent uncountable hours working on their projects, and they will show us tonight what they achieved. And I'm sure if Geoff Keighley was here, he would say, please expect a lot of world premieres, and you're the first ones to see. So at this point, it's important to understand that we had the honor to work with 5 teams that are all in very different stages of the production cycle. So some of our devs just came out of the concept phase in the incubator. Other teams are heading to the release of the game and actually aiming for the release of the games in 2021. So we designed the Games Lift Incubator to enable peer learning between our founders and startups, and at the same time bringing in as much as support from our mentors in all different kind of fields of game development, from project planning to build up a go-to-market strategy. And releasing an indie game nowadays is challenging, and one of the biggest challenges might be to achieve visibility for your product. So tonight we set the stage, and we hope it's a perfect stage for our 5 teams to present their games. And at the same time, we would like to ask all our viewers tonight for a favor. So this is a big day for our 5 teams, and we would like to get as much feedback as possible from you guys watching at this point. And so please use the chat and ask your questions there and also provide feedback. Because after each game presentation, we will have a Q&A session, and we would be more than happy if we can share your questions with our teams. And at the same time, when you head over to our website, to gamecity-hamburg.de/live, there's a link to a Miro board. And what you will find there are the contact data of all our teams. And at the same time, you will see a lot of sticky notes. And these sticky notes are meant to leave messages to our teams. So please also check out the Miro board and leave your message there. But 2020 did not only bring the Games Lift Incubator, but we had the chance to unlock another achievement for Hamburg game developers. So in cooperation with the Media Office Hamburg, we could unlock the achievement of our new prototype funding. We can fund developers here in Hamburg for developing their prototypes with up to 80,000 euros. And we saw high interest in this year's founding round and had the chance to support 7 teams with 430,000 euros. And the next funding round will start in March 2021. As an initiative to support Hamburg's games industry, we are more than happy that we have the prototype funding and the incubator in place. And with 200 companies here in Hamburg, we see a big thriving gaming ecosystem in the city. And we are talking here about solo devs and also about companies with more than 400 employees. But it's not only a gaming ecosystem in Hamburg, but at the same time, we see other creative industries here. And so the first contact for all the creative industries in Hamburg is the Hamburg Kreativ Gesellschaft, of which we are also part as Game City Hamburg. And so at this point, I would like to welcome Egbert Rühl, Managing Director of the Kreativ Gesellschaft, to join us on stage.
Yeah, thank you very much, Margarete and Dennis. First of all, I want to say my deepest thanks to all of my colleagues, to Margarete and Dennis, for doing that great job in this first incubator for games industries we have in Hamburg. And I think it's also the only one in Germany, or isn't it? Is there another one? We will discuss it afterwards. My name is Egbert Rühl. I'm Managing Director of Hamburg Kreativ Gesellschaft, and I also welcome you to this final evening of the first incubator for Games Lift here in Hamburg by Game City Hamburg. Hamburg Kreativ Gesellschaft is founded 2010, so 2020 is our 10th birthday, and you all know we prepared a lot of parties, but you all also know what happens after this preparing. All is gone by this virus. And so we are happy to have some events still, and I think the last one in this year before our Christmas party, our internal Christmas party, is this final pitch of Games Lift. Hamburg Kreativ Gesellschaft is here, maybe it's the biggest public institution to support creative industries in Germany. But being big is, of course, not our main goal. We try to offer the best programs, the best supporting offers for our customers, and you all belongs to our customers. So only by economical data we see in Hamburg four big so-called submarkets. This is, of course, the press market. Hamburg is traditionally well known for this press sector. The big magazines and newspapers are made in Hamburg. You all know them. To these four submarkets belongs advertisement market and the design market. So we are here at Design Export. This is also a unit of Hamburg Kreativ Gesellschaft, and software games at the fourth biggest submarket in Hamburg, and we are proud to have this unit now with us in Hamburg Kreativ Gesellschaft to support games also. Hamburg Kreativ Gesellschaft offers a lot of tailor-made programs to support people that work in creative industries in Hamburg. It starts by individual consultings. We do have a coaching program. We have a lot of possibilities to support you, bring your business forward. It goes over to real estate businesses. So we have rented 14 different spaces in Hamburg, and we sublet it to more than 600 tenants in Hamburg. And maybe we can do something similar for the games industry within the next years. And so we have consulting, we have real estate, we have some possibilities to support you financially. We have this crowdfunding campaigning program. We have the possibilities for this prototyping funding within the games industries and something similar. And we started to look to a new field. This is the field of innovation, and we do a lot of things to support innovation within the creative industries, but also with the possibilities, the potentials of creative industries. Though Hamburg Kreativ Gesellschaft tries to help all those people that work in creative industries in Hamburg and try to earn their money within this field from different perspectives. So if you have any answer and any idea how we can help you, please don't hesitate to come up to us. Now I'm very happy to see what has happened in this first incubator program in the gaming industries here in Hamburg. And I'm, once again, my deepest thank you to all of my colleagues, and hopefully you will enjoy this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Egbert. Yeah, the past 3 months have been quite packed for our teams, and for all of you watching us tonight from home, we'd like to give you a quick fast forward through the past 3 months in GamesLift. We started on September 7th, so pretty much exactly 3 months ago, with our kickoff meeting. That was the first time that our 5 teams met each other in person for the first time. They also received half of their financial funding of 15,000 euros at the start of the program. And as you can see on the picture, where we met is the co-working space. That's a co-working facility, basically right around the corner from where we are tonight, where we had the GamesLift space, where the teams could meet each other and work on their projects. Also in the first week, we started with the first workshops. The first 2 were with Wolf Lang. He is CEO of Supercrowd, who had a workshop with the title Ready Player One, What Awaits You as an Indie Dev in the Games Business, as well as the wonderful Michael Schieben, who gave an introduction into the product field technique, which helped our teams to structure their ideas and projects. After that, we had more workshops, and more workshops, and even more workshops for all of those 3 months. Overall, there were 21 workshops. In addition to that, 5 pitches and networking events with our 27 mentors from 5 countries. On top of that, the teams, of course, worked on their project, so you can imagine those past 3 months have been quite eventful for them. Also for our mentors who took the time and shared their knowledge, shared their experience with our team, which was absolutely awesome and a lot of fun most of the time, or maybe all of the time. So from the application phase that started in June to the kickoff in September to the milestone pitch that we had in mid-October, we always saw the tremendous progress that our teams made. So we are, as the Game City team, we too are very excited to see what they can show us for the graduation. And so I think it's time to start with the first team. It's a team of 8. 3 of them were part of the incubator. Their names are Eike Langbeen, Dennis Bredigkeit, and Hanna Paulmann. And Eike and Dennis are here tonight to show us what their game is all about. The stage is yours.
Yes, thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Egbert, for the introduction and for having us tonight here at the Design Export. We are Curvature Games. My name is Dennis. I'm managing director and co-founder of our little startup, and with me tonight is Eike, who's also co-founder and creative director. And we are very excited and very happy to show you our upcoming game, The Amusement. The Amusement is a narrative VR adventure that is set in the 1920s and plays in an old abandoned theme park. It is in the same vein as adventures like Firewatch and What Remains of Edith Finch. And we are planning to release this game in 2022 on the Oculus Quest 1 and 2.
The inspiration for the game comes from the Luna Parks, which were a predecessor of modern amusement parks in the beginning of the last century. And especially the Luna Park Altona was a kind of role model for our game. And here you can see real photos of the original park with the entrance gate. And now, today, at this area, there are football courts and a job center, and actually this area is only a few hundred meters away from my apartment. This park opened in 1913 and had to close already 1 year later because of the beginning of World War I. And we now want to recreate the magic of this park that never really had a chance to happen. And in our game, we set the park on a remote island in the North Sea. And the player takes on the role of a young woman who spent her childhood in this park and now comes back in this park, which has been abandoned for almost 10 years. And as you can see, we have several locations in the park that can be visited by the player, such as a water ride, a roller coaster, and a train track that goes around the park. Most of the rides and parks are broken and overgrown, and the main gameplay is based on exploration and discovering the park. So while the player is spending most of the time solving light puzzles to repair the rides, he uncovers a story interactively about mysterious circumstances about the past of the player's character with twists and turns. And a game journalist that accompanied the game program wrote about the game that it is a melancholy tale of remembering, of trying to repair defunct rides, of turning light backs on. And we think that this description fits very well to our vision of the game. The art style of the game is inspired by old postcards from the 1920s. So they were actual only black and white photos that were colorized afterwards. So they had a very reduced color palette and the special dithering effect that arised from the printing process. One of the most unique things about our game is the locomotion technique that we use. So locomotion is still a huge problem in VR because common techniques like joystick steering or teleportation still have a lot of drawbacks. They reduce immersion or induce motion sickness in the player. And we leverage redirected walking, which is a novel technique that comes from academic research. And I worked on this technique in the last 5 years. And it tries to enable real walking in very confined play spaces by exploiting perceptual limitations and illusions. And in this level blockout, for example, the walkable areas are marked in green. And to achieve this, we combine redirection techniques such as rotation gains or impossible spaces with other movement techniques like elevators, moving platforms, climbing, and so on. And the player actually only walks in a 2x2 meter space in the real world, but gets the illusion to explore a much larger virtual environment. So here you can see how we use an elevator first, and we do this by combining it with the physical interaction of the player who has to grab this rope. But then we combine it with these new redirection techniques. For example, when the player is now going outside and around the corner, we use an impossible space. It means we swap around parts of the level so that other parts of the level are now in the play space of the player. Scientific studies proved that an overlap of up to 50% is not noticed by the majority of the users. We also use climbing as a movement technique, and here again we combine this with a physical interaction of the player. So actually the player moves the whole environment around him or around his hands, which serve as an anchor point. And when the player is at one border of the tracking space, as you can see now when he enters this platform, then we can apply a rotation gain that amplifies the head rotation of the player. So that means the virtual rotation is slightly faster than the real one, and in combination with a task that forces the player to move back and forth several times, we can rotate him around totally so that after he's finished with the task, he's facing to the play space again and can continue walking straight forward. And this manipulation is so subtle that he does not even notice it.
In the last month and weeks, with the support of this incubator, we worked hard on this first playable prototype, but we also need to continue working on it because we want to polish it and make it as best as we can. So we will finish it in the next 2 months. Starting from that starts production, and we will need another 12 months to finish this game and actually then release it. Our lead platform is the Oculus Quest 2, but we also want to release on other platforms like the Oculus Quest 1 and the Oculus Quest Rift, for example, but also for Steam VR, so for the HTC Vive or the Valve Index. We are planning with a length of about 2 to 3 hours, And our target group are the so-called story seeker, which are exactly 50-50 male and female, and on average 30 years. And they have a medium annual game spend. And luckily, Facebook, as the platform owner for Oculus Quest 1 and 2, recently announced that they especially want to address this target group, like the story seeker, in the future even more. So we are very happy that our game fits into this genre that is supported by one of the major platforms. This is our team, and this is how we most saw each other, like most of the time in this view, through a webcam because of COVID-19, unfortunately. And this is actually us celebrating Christmas at the Christmas party a couple of weeks ago. So Eike, Hannah, and me, we co-founded this little startup. Eike worked his last 5 years as a PhD, and what his thesis about, his PhD thesis about redirected walking. My background is marketing and advertisement. I worked in PR and marketing agencies in the last 10 years, and Hannah did her games master at the HAW here in Hamburg and works, or is responsible in our team for project management and 3D art. Also Hannah, Tim, and Mark worked and directed the game Elevator to the Moon, which was released also, which was funded by Facebook and Oculus, and also released on all major VR platforms. Our team is completed by Kolja, Daniel, Raphael, and Malte, who are former students from Eike, who also all have their background in computer science and are responsible for programming and also partly 3D art. And we are very happy that we already at our young stage have such a great team. Especially with this team, we worked on our first game, which is called Frozen Factory this year, which is a game for outer form entertainment, so for location-based entertainment, where VR is experienced as an attraction in theme parks and shopping malls, and this will be released probably at the beginning of next year. And with this, to sum it up, so the Amusement is an immersive story in virtual reality. It has a unique art style and setting based upon the 1920s. And we leverage redirected walking to combine all these things and to get an immersive experience where people have actually a much bigger play experience than they have as actual tracking area. What are the next steps? Where do we go from here? So we are looking for a publisher, so if anyone's watching, feel free to get in touch with us. We want to get in touch also with other VR developers and connect this with the VR development scene, and anyone else who's interested in redirected walking, so please feel free to get in touch, as Dennis said in the beginning. And with this, we say thank you to all watching. Thank you again to Maggie for working tirelessly to support us. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you to the whole Game City Hamburg team, and Merry Christmas.
Thanks so much for your presentation. Thanks also goes out to Hannah, who couldn't be here tonight, and of course the rest of the team. To all of you watching from home, don't forget you can post your questions or feedback into the chat at any time, but the first person to give some feedback for the presentation to the team will be one of their mentors, and we are very happy to have her on Zoom tonight. Hello, Valentina. Yeah, here she is. Hi, we have Valentina Birkel, head of project for the Indie Arena booth, which I think most of you should know. And Valentina, when you're ready, you can talk to the team.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry, my internet just crashed like 5
I think the
minutes
sound is
before I
not
was
on yet, but I'm sure the team is working on that. Otherwise, the two of you are proficient in lip reading.
Louder. Okay, yeah. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, my internet just crashed. So I have a really great setup with a camera and a microphone, but it's not working at the moment. But now back to you. First of all, congrats and a shout out to the whole team. It's great to see how you are building up an indie studio in Hamburg, which has a clear vision both from the creative side as well as from the business side. The distinctive art style, based on the old postcards from real-world amusement parks of the 1920s, really lets you dive into the atmosphere of that time. What sets your project apart is what you already mentioned. It's the redirected walking technology. And I had the luck to playtest one of your previous projects, and so I know that this really works and it's pretty immersive for the whole gameplay. And I can't wait to try this project out in person. Story-focused games are still a niche on the VR market, and as an enthusiast of narrative games, I'm happy to hear that you will fill that gap. You're delivering a clear business case as well as an exciting game, and I'm sure that you will make it in the industry. I wish you and your team luck with all of your all of your projects, and I really hope that the Games Lift Incubator helped you to reach the next step of this amazing project.
Thank you.
Thank you. I cannot see you because it's just the phone thing.
Yeah, at least we can see you.
Thank you very much, Valentina. So we saw you and we heard you, and happy that you joined tonight, and also that you had like a session with our teams. And I think all of you know like the little tricks how to get the word out about indie games. So I think Valentina is a good go-to person, and we are very happy that our viewers tonight already put the Miro board to good use, and I brought some questions and comments, and I liked some comments very much. So one of them was Coney Island meets Alcatraz, very nice, so already a fan there. But I also liked the comment on Miro, redirected walking, is this evil trickery even legal? I already feel fooled, so we like that one. But at the same time, some more questions are coming in. So one of them, which additional problems and challenges do you see when developing a game for VR?
Developing for VR comes with a lot of additional problems. So, especially because you need to design the space in a completely different way than you would do for a screen, like a monitor game. Of course, like especially in our case, we are developing for the Quest, which is a standalone device with limited hardware, and so performance-wise, it's always very tricky to achieve a very good art style.
Yeah, but my opinion on that is like you see nowadays so many formulas and things which have been done for ages, and VR, it's really exciting because so much is still happening, and so much can be redirected in another direction in VR development. So
nice.
What are the next games? Okay, so one other question from YouTube. So the whole game is designed that you play through and never leave the rectangle area without losing immersion. Oh no, it's not a question, it's a comment. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
So redirected walking is really like your ESP. One more question maybe. Do you think story-focused games are the future for VR?
Yes, I definitely think so, because like the one special thing about VR is like the immersion. You're really not just like playing a game; you are in the game, and so this is like perfect for interactive storytelling. And unfortunately, there are not so many story games so far in VR, because like most of the games are like more arcade or action games in VR so far, like Beat Saber and so on, but I think this niche will become bigger in the future, like the story games, VR story games, and I think it fits perfectly.
Then maybe one last question: are you planning to stay in touch with the mentors?
Absolutely. So all the workshops, all the sessions, I mean, it wasn't just workshops, it was also just Zoom sessions over beer or coffee. Were absolutely helpful, and we are all, like our whole team is so amazed by how strong, especially in Hamburg, the gaming community is, and how everyone's super ready to support each other. Like, it's absolutely not about we don't want you to be successful because then our game is not successful. It's rather like it's helping each other a lot, and like also especially Valentina, who took her time to talk to us about the current state of art in the German indie dev scene. Was really, really helpful, and each mentor had its own special niche in a business or, I don't know, production, technical stuff, and we will absolutely we'll continue to stay in touch with these because and maybe on this part, like a big thank you to everyone who supported us and supported all the other teams during that time. So absolutely big yes.
So, dear mentors out there, you heard it. Like it's not only our teams, but we will continue the Games Left Incubator. But at this point, thank you very much, Curvature. Great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks again from my side. Also, I have to say, I saw this video. I love the shirt, Eike, that you are wearing. That's our official Games Lift shirt, I noticed. Yeah, but now we're heading to the next presentation. It's by a person who has been called inside the incubator a one-woman army. That's because she's impressively developing this game by herself. And she once said she wanted to make a game that she herself would love to play. And I'm very, very sure that more people will love to play that game once it's out. The game is Alchymia, and here to present it to you is Julia Reberg. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much. Yes, hi, I'm Julia Reberg, and I am the developer of this little project called Alchymia. Alchymia is a turn-based management sim with roguelike elements. You play as an alchemist setting up shop in a charming medieval city. You acquire tools and ingredients, you create poisons and potions and other goods, and you sell them for a profit, rinse and repeat. Now, if that sounds nice and relaxing to you, don't worry, it's not. Because there's an army of undead marching towards your city. And aside from making enough gold to pay your taxes, like the good citizen you are, you also have to create a magnum opus, a great alchemical deed to defeat the undead before they come knocking at your door. Yes, it's a single-player game, and I'm currently aiming for a playtime of about 6 hours per playthrough. As Maggie said, I'm developing the game by myself with Unreal Engine 4, and I recorded a little video of the current state of the project, so let's have a look.
This is our city map. From here we can visit a number of guilds and facilities located in the city. Right now,
I hope you can hear it.
Locations, the Alchemy Lab and the market. On the right we have our status. It tells us which turn we are currently at as the day and how much coin we owe. Let's go to the market first. In Alchymia, each guild and other facility is represented by an NPC. In this case, we are buying our ingredients from this lady here. And we're getting some herbs and some bones. Our trade is added to the activity list. This list keeps track of everything we do during our current turn, that is all trades and all production. Each action costs a number of activity points, so we are limited in how much we can do during a single turn. All actions are only finalized when we end our turn down here. Now let's head to our alchemy lab. Here we have our tools for alchemy. Certain ingredients can only be processed by certain tools, which is indicated by the highlight or rather grey out when you go over them. In our current version, you can already see what is getting produced. So the bone broth is a potion of intoxication, and the herbs become a healing balm. However, when we put the herbs into the oven and crush them into a powder, we get a poison. Now that everything is set, we can end the turn. And our actions got finalized, so we got our goods. And now we could go to the market and sell them and buy more ingredients.
All right, so there's so much for the core loop. But what else is the game about? As you saw, the setting is medieval with a touch of classic fantasy. As an alchemist, you essentially produce the usual consumables you'd find in a role-playing game, like healing balms or mana potions. And your city is home to... Your city is home to various factions that have an interest in buying your goods. So like guilds of mages or adventurers, along with more grounded facilities like the market or craft shops. A handful of these factions is randomly assigned to your city at the start of each playthrough. And they have preferences for the kinds of goods they would buy from you. So you have to adjust your production to the demand in each new game. For example, if you have an assassin's guild, you might want to produce poisons. A church or medicus will buy your healing items, and a tavern will gladly take all your potions of intoxication from you. Some factions will also give out quests, and they also provide useful services. Now, in order to produce anything in Alchymia, you need the ingredients first. And they are all procedurally generated. So the type and effect is randomized at the start of each game. And you do not know what an ingredient does before you process it. So you might want to get your hands on every one of them to find out if you can find something useful to you. And the generated resources, along with the randomized market, make Alchymia endlessly replayable, which is one of its main selling points. And of course, this wouldn't be a management sim without plenty of opportunity to spend your coin to earn more efficiently. So you can upgrade your laboratory with better tools, or you can send out adventurers to gather ingredients for you that are either not available at the local market or not in the quantities that you need. And you can produce your own ingredients by cultivating plants or keeping animals. Now, some of these features will take a while, but I dare say I did get quite far in the past 3 months. At the start of this incubator, this whole project only existed on paper. So there was nothing in terms of visuals, and I really had only just figured out how to do drag and drop in Unreal Engine. And since September, I was able to implement the core mechanics and create the main screens, and also create a first visual identity for the game. The plan to implement the game over was scrapped in favor of fleshing out the game design and to create the activity list. I also got a much better idea of the, let's say, the business side of game development, thanks to the fantastic workshops we had. And another thing that I developed just last month, actually, is the roadmap for the whole project. Alchymia is currently in the first phase of pre-production, so the absolute core features are in, but there are still 1 or 2 things that are missing before it can be played as intended. So that should be done at the end of January. And once I'm finished with that, I'm going to implement the other system that I consider essential for the game experience and wrap things up in a vertical slice until June. And at that point, I'd like to expand the team and go all in on the content production for the game. My ambitious goal is to go early access in the first quarter of 2022. Yeah. I hope everyone's attention is sufficiently drained at this point, because I still have to talk about myself. I'm an artist turned developer turned game designer. I've been making games since 2008, really. At that time, as an illustrator and animator for a studio that developed Flash games. And I worked on a couple of prototypes and other game-related projects during my bachelor's and master's courses, which were intermedia design and games here in Hamburg, actually. And I've only been in the industry for a year as a game designer and scripter, as part of a startup that developed a therapy game app, which found a rather unceremonious end last year, but that might not be the worst thing, since I was able to work on Alchymia ever since. And you can contact me via mail or join the brand new Discord server that is linked on the Miro board, and drop me a message. All right? Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you stay tuned for more information on the project. And I'd like to thank the GamesLift Orga team and Maggie in particular for their great work and the chance that to be here. It was really amazing despite the circumstances. And I'd also like to thank the other teams for their kind words of encouragement and their feedback. And most of all, I'd like to thank my partner, Phil. I know he's watching. And I'm not sure I could have done it without his support. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, Julia. You really have made impressive progress in those 3 months. I know it was hard work for you. And someone who can really judge how big this process is that you made is one person who was not only your mentor, but who was also part of the awarding committee who reviewed all the applications for our incubator this year and then chose Julia and the other teams. So we are very happy to have her on Zoom tonight. It's Anne Beutenmüller from Niantic. Hi, Anne.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Julia.
Go ahead, Anne, whenever you're
Oh,
ready.
all right. I thought you. Thanks so much. Yeah, Julia, I believe I can speak on behalf of everyone here, the Game City team, the awarding committee, the mentors, and all the team that you have impressed us a lot. It was such a brave and confident step to apply as a solo developer with your very own game concept for the program. You convinced us with your very professional, very structured and detailed presentation at your very first pitch. And during your time at the incubator program, you were working tirelessly on your game idea. You created an in-game graphic concept and you reached all your goals that you were setting up for yourself for the program. So that's really awesome. I wish I could be there in person to cheer you up. Keep up your great work, keep up your spirit. We need more women like you in the gaming industry. So keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anne. And yeah, you said it, Maggie said it, and I also witnessed it. I can remember the discussion of the awarding committee, and they said like, okay, this woman, she has the whole game in her head or maybe on paper, but yeah, you put it to life, and this only in 3 months. So big kudos, and not only from us, but also from our viewers. So some comments we saw here on Mio. So love the art style, great character art, great balance between comic and photo style. So yeah, you're heading in the absolutely right direction. So lots of great
That's good to
feedback here. And yeah, so Anne's last point, yeah, is really, really true. So that you have like this idea and you're striving forward. So, but maybe you already gave a hint in this direction, but what is your biggest motivation to build this game?
My biggest motivation is, yes, to, as it was said in the beginning, to play a game that I'd like to play. And I really like these kind of management sims, but I found that the older I get, the more being an adult gets in the way of me gaming. So I tend to gravitate to shorter games. And I wanted to make this game that you can play over and over and but that doesn't require so much time. And as for the theme, well, I always liked mythical and magical stuff, so this is how I got to alchemy. And yes, I really want to see it come to life eventually.
I'm totally in your target group, so with a 4-year-old son, so I'm loving games which you can play like over and over again, but not about like 100 hours in one session. So you've been working on Alchymia all by yourself, and you said that your plan is to bring in more people, maybe in half a year, or when the production is at the right point. So what are like the key staff members you would like to bring in the next step?
Well, I'd like to bring in more people once I have all the, let's say, main technical stuff out of the way, so that mostly it's a manpower problem. And I think maybe I'd like to get another artist on board to help me, because I'm planning to do a lot of these facilities and a lot of these characters, and for that I might need a little help. And of course I would also like to have someone for the sound. I could technically do it myself, but that was a long time ago, so it would be nice to have someone for that as well. And yes, pretty much that. And maybe someone for the marketing stuff, because as much as I learned here, I feel that is such a huge field.
Yeah, totally. So Game City Hamburg community or viewers, you heard it. So if you like the game, you find the contact data of Julia. And so, yeah, on Miro, there are already some thoughts in direction of a board game, maybe, because like the game design already has advanced there. Yeah, but really like very great comments here, very impressive in so short time. And yeah, totally. Also from my side, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So next up, we have another treat for all of the VR fans out there who have already enjoyed hearing about the Amusement, and we'll now see another VR game that's quite different, but also with a very cool, unique idea. It's developed by two really experienced VR developers who have already been awarded for their work and who are now making their very own game. And yeah, they're here to tell you more about it. Welcome to the stage, Leonie and Ole.
I challenge you to a game.
No, I am much stronger than you are.
I cast my fireball.
Hi. No, these are not action figures. No, we are not playing with action figures.
We're
adults.
Yeah, and we're trying this to do game testing.
Exactly, game testing. Because we are beyond. We are making virtual reality.
We could show you if you want to see.
Give me your Crumbling.
Yeah. Don't break it.
So, let's try with the live demo.
And hope
We are challenging the demons of technical issues.
Yeah. There are the dreadful 3 dots of loading
Crumbling
screens.
is a VR game in which you play with action figures. And since we all know if you're wearing VR goggles, you can never look ridiculous, you can all go back to your childhood and play with action figures again, and nobody sees what you're doing. So it works a little bit like this. You have your controller, and instead of being the player character yourself, your character sits where your controller is, and you move it around like this. So you can explore the entire game world just with your hand. And now, if everything works, let's see. There you go. Let me just... All right, there you go. Of course, before you can play with an action figure, you will have to unwrap it. It comes in this blister package. All right, try it. They are hard to open, we all know that. There he is, comes to life. Right, and then you play in these diorama-like settings. So this is like you were standing in front of a view, like on a table, like you would build those for your action figures to play in. And isn't he cute? They can strike. Yes, he's a dangerous little guy. All right, let's get into the action. It's a roguelike game, so you move from one room to the other, and every time you come into a room, you'll be attacked. Be careful with those guys.
Wait, don't.
Let's see if she can hit some more.
Of course I can, I'm experienced.
Yeah, of course you can. Of course, every time you clear a stage, there'll be power-ups. So maybe you get a new ability, like this Thrust Nova. It's cool, eh? Right.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
Next round.
There's entirely different sceneries, of course. Come on, freeze. Yes. Looking good. You can do it.
Ole, I actually need to concentrate. Stop cheering. Yes, I did it.
And of course, ultimately, she will have to face the applicant boss. Careful.
Ooh, there are the fireflies. Oh no. Ooh. It's actually a lot harder than it looks.
So be careful.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Oh. Now she's gone. All right.
But I can restart. Luckily.
That was Crumbling. Or, oh wait. All right. No. I'm sorry. There we are. All right, live presentation, we finished that. All right, what you've seen is Crumbling the game, or at least it's an early prototype of it. So eventually it will look a little bit more like this. As you see, it's a third-person VR game. And you might be right in asking, why the hell would anybody create a third-person VR game? There are actually a couple of reasons for that. Because back in the day in 2016, when the Oculus Rift came out, and everybody was yelling for Fallout VR and Skyrim VR, everybody wanted maximum immersion. Be the player. They wanted to be the player and explore the world. But then it turned out it's actually kind of exhausting when monsters just jump at you and punch you right in the face. Surprise. And also, people tend to be not sword-fighting masters, but they have to wave around their sword. But there is no actual sword in their hand, so they end up tickling their enemies to death like that. And then at the same time, we've already heard about it, there's the locomotion problem. So how do you walk around a huge world when you're just playing in a 2x2 meter area? So there are cool solutions. We've heard about one before. And ours is we just make the game world smaller. Because what we've done is, let me try this out. What happens if you ignore these problems? Take a look at what happened to Skyrim and Fallout. They started on screen with incredible ratings, and then in VR, not so much. So you really have to be smart and just fail. So we made a third-person VR game, or more an action figure VR game, because you don't control your figure with a thumbstick, you actually hold it in your hand like an action figure. We took a look at how children play, and I don't mean in VR, like in their natural habitat. And they all do the same thing. If you give them an action figure, they start right away. They take it in their hand, and they go like this, whoosh, bam, and they fight off imaginary enemies. But we're adults, so we don't have that imagination anymore. But then Crumbling helps you, so you can go back to VR and play like a child. And it's really natural. Everybody has done it at some point in his life. It's extremely immersive. If you look at how children play, they're entirely absorbed by it. They become this figure in their hand. And you can play it seated. And the character is really powerful, and his skills do not depend on your skills. You don't have to be a sword fighter or be good at aiming at things. You can just play, and the character does it for you like it's supposed to be in a video game. So what kind of game are we making with it? We're making a fast-paced hack-and-slash roguelike. You go from room to room, you go stronger, you face the end boss, and along the way, of course, there's a lot of collectibles, because if you're playing with action figures, you want to collect them. Our timeline looks like this. We're going to polish this and make a proper prototype out of it by the end of this year. And then we're going to look for a publisher. And if you happen to be one sitting on way too much money you want to spend, then just give us an email maybe. And then over the course of the next year, we'll finish this and have it released, preferably on the Oculus Quest, but we're also targeting all tethered VR headsets. And there's this really cool new platform called Tilt 5. It's more of an AR platform where you have a reflective sheet of foil on your table and the glasses that project an image onto that and back into your eye. So it's a bit like you have a 3D screen on top of your table.
And he's not even paid to say that it's really cool.
Exactly, not even paid to do it. So Crumbling will work cool on that one as well. So keep an eye for it. And with that, I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank the entire team that's been working on Crumbling. It started with Leonie and I. She's doing her tech art magic to keep it performant. But we now have also Nicolo Sampietri, who's doing really cool 3D models for it. Benjamin Marquardt, great concept artwork. And Dorian is going to make the game sound really, really good. And of course, we'd also like to thank the Game City Hamburg team for realizing this amazing incubator. It was a blast. We had so much fun. We learned a lot. So thank you. It was amazing.
Thank the two of you for your presentation. I've seen lots of presentations from you about Crumbling. I've seen video, but I've never seen it played live, and it's awesome. It looks like so much fun, and you'll stay later so we can play. Yeah, but as well as for the other teams, we have a mentor out of our pool of mentors who would like to say a couple of words to you. I know that you've been talking to that mentor about your game concept before, and so now we are very excited to hear from Jan Thijssen, who is co-founder and creative director of King Art. Hi, Jan.
Hi, good evening.
Nice to have you.
Yeah. When I was at the first Game Lift virtual meetup, and it was time for the developers and the mentors to meet, I was hoping not to be matched to one of the VR games because VR is one of the few areas in game development I never worked in, and to be honest, I get quite sick quite quickly when I wear VR goggles. So VR is really normally not my thing, but when I heard the idea, I was immediately hooked because sometimes I think VR games do not really need the VR part, or the VR is maybe a little bit like a novelty, and the game would work just as well without VR or motion controls. But this is not the case when it comes to Crumblings, because this is really what the game is all about. The game only works with motion control and VR, and so I really like the idea. And the definition of game design by legendary game designer Will Wright is that a game designer's job is to make toys for gamers to play with. And this is exactly what Crumbling is doing. They're giving literally a toy into the gamer's hand, and gamers can play with it. And I think it's a great idea and very well implemented. And so I think as far as VR games go, it's really great. And unfortunately, I probably can't play it really because I still get sick. But I think it's a great idea, and I can see it working as a game, but also maybe companies are interested in presenting their their toys or their products in this way. So I think you have a very cool product or a game in your hand there, and great work, and keep it up, and I wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Actually, Jan had quite an impact on the game because we were discussing about stuff and the way the game looks now, and that it is really so much targeted at action figures. It actually came out in a discussion with him. So one example of how great this incubator really was for our project. Really cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jan. And I also can remember, because by coincidence I also joined, especially this discussion. And from my side, it's also interesting to hear that not only it's one direction, but the mentors gave good ideas and advices to you. But at the same time, you managed to give a new perspective about VR also to our experienced developers there. Even if Jan maybe cannot play it, he totally got hooked by the idea. And this is the same again with our Miro board. And so lots of praises for your art style. So really cool concept, and the characters are maximum cute. So it's the highest level, it's the maximum. So you have to be careful that you don't do so much more there. Really dig the fantasy of the child playing with an action figure. Great approach to the VR challenges. So this is really the case, and also like this unwrapping with this action figure, like you're immediately in there, you know what to do, and I also totally get it here. So one question also out of the chat. Why did you decide to develop this game for VR rather than 2D? Maybe have you thought at one point about the Wii? So the Wii isn't like a topic at this point anymore, but why especially VR?
Yes, right. Why VR? Because in the first place, yes, you need a three-dimensional motion tracker, and that's absolutely right. You could play it potentially on the Wii, or PlayStation also has motion track controllers. So actually you could watch the game on the screen and then move your character around like that. And it's absolutely a possibility that we're going to look into. But first, it's going to be easy to realize in VR comparatively, and then we'll look further. And this Tilt 5 platform really is cool. I think it's something like that. You don't really have this VR surrounding where you're entirely absorbed. You can still see the rest of the world, and you won't get sick. So that's another one. Yeah.
Also, I didn't hear before about this Tilt 5, but it shows like this idea is like capable to being on different kind of platforms, and also like this idea was playing with action figures. So you already have some team members there. Are there any special more staff or team members you're looking for, like in the production cycle?
Yeah, absolutely. Most significant lack would be probably right now a VFX artist. This game must be like completely full with particle effects. So if you have a hand for that,
maximum particle effects.
Maximum cute, maximum amazing particle effects.
But on like mobile, so cheap particles, please.
The tech artist.
Yeah, come on.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
And one more question out of the chat. How long will a play session take?
Yeah, you've seen the fights are actually pretty short. We're thinking 10 fights and then an end boss. So one session would be maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And then you will start again. So I know those games. I like those because I can pretend that I don't want to play 2 hours now in a row, and then I just do anyway because I just play over and over again. So that's the way it's supposed to work.
And also one idea that comes to my mind at this point, like maybe you can also like this unwrapping process to use some stickers, and then you can put like all stickers all over the world, because I see also my son doing it, and like when I come home every time it looks a little bit different. But behind the stickers, I see our flat, so that's... Okay. Maybe one last question, because you already had it here in real life. So how many crumblings do you think will be in the final game?
All of them. Many.
All right.
Yeah, we're still building this IP, so to say. But there's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
All you can think of and a bit more, probably.
And I guess you want to catch and find and unwrap them all.
Exactly.
Of course, you need to collect them all, and each comes with unique abilities. Of course, you have a reason to collect them and try them out.
Yeah.
All right. Then thank you, Leonie. Thank you, Ole. And great stuff, guys. Thank you.
You can leave one of the crumblings if you like for us, but that's fine. Yeah, added to the decoration. Very nice. Yeah, next up we have a team of 4 game students and part alumni of the SIA Institute here in Hamburg who came together to make a game that mixes Japanese mythology with heavy metal music. It does work, and if you want to find out how that works, we have Nico here from Team Ninja Brigade to tell you. just start his presentation. Let's see there. All right. You're good to go.
Hello everyone, I'm Egbert, and I want to show you our game presentation, in-game presentation of Jonah Weingarten's Ninja Brigade. Robin and I conceptualized this game in April this year, and we are both responsible for the game direction and the programming department. Since then, our team has grown up to 7 people, including Annemarie, who is doing the cover art, who's doing the UI, and the web layout, and many more things, including Victoria, who is supporting us as a character artist and sprite animator, and is also doing the story cutscenes together with Annemarie. Our team is completed by Christoph, who is doing the back-end programming, by Leonard, who is doing all the props and environmental assets for us, and by Daniel, who is doing the background images and is animating the animators and enemies for us. But what exactly is our project? Jonah Weingarten's Ninja Brigade is a fast-paced pixel art action platformer in a Metroidvania style. And the progressive metal keyboarder Jonah is drawn into an arcade station back to feudal Japan. Once there, he has to face vicious yokai hordes with his sword and his crossbow. Here you can see an excerpt from the prototype which we created at the beginning of the game's lived incubator. And during the last 3 months, we've done our best to improve on the segment, and we reworked exactly this scene for you today. Just have a look. Here you can see it. We reworked all the props, the tile sets. We added a new color palette. We finalized the UI, added background images, and have done just a lot visually, as you can see. Here you can see a respawn point, so if our player runs out of health, he will be brought back to this respawn point. And also we have a lot of collectibles, like these hidden kodamas, which will grant you an extra life if you collect them. Also, you can buy a lot of items in our game if you happen to collect enough coins for it. Also, what you see up there is an LP record, which grants you access to the soundtrack of our game if you collect it, just for your listening pleasures. Our game features a complex nested game world consisting of 4 large maps, and they are all combined with smooth camera transitions to create an open world feel. And we feature a variety of places like this graveyard forest you see here, and we have dark caverns, and we also have a feudal Japanese castle, and even hell itself. Let's have a look at the smooth camera transition here. Our character also gets new abilities the longer you play, so he gets the ability to slide across narrow paths, he can get a double jump to reach new heights, he can also dash to just ignore gravity for a moment. And let's just have a short break, take a look at the map. And you also have the ability to glide, to cross gaps like these, and if you see some grabby walls, just do a wall jump up here. And you can also find temples in our games, or shrines, as you may call them, and collect scrolls, which grant you new abilities. In this example, our crossbow got the new ammunition type, wind. Here you can see I can create wind platforms with my crossbow. Usually it shoots, or I can throw bombs. And here you can see an excerpt from the Japanese castle, but I'm not showing you a lot of it right now. And surprise, he's real. Jonah Weingarten is not only the main character from our video game, yes, he is a real person. He's an accomplished composer of independent films, video game soundtracks. He's done sport team anthems and epic trailer music. He contributed to countless releases on major labels worldwide, including Nuclear Blast, AFM Records, Universal, and more. And he's a full-time member, keyboarder of Pyramase since 2002, and since then he is well known in the rock and metal scene. Also, their band Pyramase happened to just release a new album on November. It's Epitaph, that's the one up left. Be sure to check it out, it's a great progressive metal album. And at the end of March, Jonah introduced his new music project down right, which he just called Ninja Brigade. And since we already worked together on 3 other video games, we got into conversation and had the idea to do a video game out of his soundtrack. His soundtrack is inspired by 80s montage training music and synthwave inspired by action films, video games, and Saturday morning cartoons from the 80s. And I just want to give you a short example of how the music sounds, and it's very great. I hope it works now. There's much more music of this kind, and it's very great. Also, our game features infested zones, which changes the flora and fauna of our game through the demonic energy coming directly from the yokai realm, which you can see right now. And this not only strengthens the local yokai, it also transforms our character Jonah into an Oni, which changes the playfield into a more melee combat-orientated one. So instead of a double jump, slide, or glide, I have a generally high jump, I have stronger attacks, I can do a stomp attack or counter attacks, and many more moves. I won't show you everything now, so let's get to the next slide. I'd like to dive deeper into our game world with you just by showing some enemies. We try to stick as closely to the Japanese folklore as we can. So here you can see a kasha. They are bipedal, large felines accompanied by hellish flames. And yeah, they usually hide among us humans as normal cats or strays. But during funeral services, they jump off from rooftops to collect the human corpses out of their coffins. Very nice creatures they are. Here you can see an akaname. Akaname are goblin-like creatures which just have a sticky, long tongue and like to eat filth, grease, slime, dirt, and hair. So keep your houses clean because they will habit them if you don't tidy up. Here you can see a bazan. It's a chicken-shaped creature which just happens to shoot fireballs. And here are some prototypes for our cave map from enemies. So from left to right, you can see the kappa, garappa, and the suiku. And I just want to exchange some facts about the kappa. The kappa is an aquatic reptilian humanoid which just has a dish-like repression on its head. It's filled with water, and if the water is spilled, they can't move anymore, and usually they die. Also, fun fact about kappas, they have 3 anuses, which makes them pass 3 times as much gas as humans. And also their diet contains, which is a very cute fact, contains of cucumbers and human entrails. Now I would like to show you some bosses. We try to make our bosses really fearsome with tremendous power looking and big. And here you can see the Katawaguruma. Katawaguruma are, they are tormented naked women which are riding a single ox cart wheel. And they are eternally suffering, burning, in pain. They are traveling across the roads of Japan, occasionally stopping by in towns and villages just to hunt for impure souls and direct them back to their hellish masters. I know it's a pretty nice game we do here. Here you can see the Sasai Oni, or second boss, and she is a shape-shifting, turban snail-like creature which haunts the sea, and they are pretending to be drowning victims. They cry for help, only to feed on their saviors. So we are approaching slowly the end of our presentation, but before ending it, I would like to share some important dates with you. At the beginning of next year, in the first quarter, we want to start our marketing and fill our social media channels, and also you will be able to wish list our game on Steam. I want to say Steam list, which is wrong. So. And in quarter 3, we plan to release this game on Steam. And behold, be the very first people here to see the cover art. which is done by Annemarie, and we are really proud of the work she's done. We think it's amazing. Thank you, Annemarie. And last but not least, but maybe it's last now, our social media channels. You can hook us up on our homepage. Visit impossiblegames.de. You can find our Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, all on that page. Also, you will find a permalink to our Discord to get directly in touch with us. And if you have any press inquiries or business inquiries or just feedback for the presentation or the game itself, just write us an email. Thank you very much for your attention and the chance to be here. We are really happy, and that's it for now. I'm here for your questions.
Awesome presentation. I love in-game presentations, especially because I get to play them before we show them, but very well presented. Thank you very much, Nico. And before we head to the questions from the chat, also for you, we have a mentor who would like to say a couple of words about your game and your pitch tonight. Hello, Johan in Sweden. Can you hear us?
I think I can.
Excellent.
You're all lucky that I got married this weekend, otherwise I wouldn't have all these fancy clothes lying around the office. As someone who could probably be accused of having those 3 anuses you just talked about due to my general, honest asshole style of feedback, I must say it's been a pleasure to follow Impawsible Games through this incubation. But first and foremost, before we go into anything else, I would like to give a big applause to Nico, Robin, Anne-Marie, Victoria, Christoph, Leonard, Danielle, and of course Jonah as well. So I know it's a bit of a golf clap move sitting alone in a room, but you get the gist of it. So personally, what impressed me most with this team was the level of thought and work that had gone into the every aspect of the game, not just the game part of it. Making an amazing game is, of course, relevant in the business of video games. Otherwise, you won't have anything to work with. But for an early stage indie company to not only realize, but also succeed in putting in the work when it comes to production, scoping, the business side of things, thinking about marketing at an early stage, seeing that happen so early is always great to see. And I think that the Hamburg, the GameSlift program has been beneficial for that as well. And building a game on 80s nostalgia, including a metal musician playing synthwave training montage music and setting it in feudal Japan opens up for a ton of interesting marketing synergies. So I'm super interested to see how the team works, their go-to-market strategy from this, and how they get those synergies to work in tandem. Jonah Weingarten's Ninja Brigade is a beautiful love letter to the past, but it carries with it a lot of modern sensibilities in both art and design. So I only have one thing I would wish for the crew and for the people watching this right now and for whoever watches it later. Let's pull together and help Impawsible Games to succeed in creating the type of memories the paper of this love letter is made out of for an absolutely new, fresh generation, for those not even born in the 80s. So I wish I had some whiskey to do the skål with, but I have an energy drink. So here's to a brilliant future, and for a job so far, well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Johan, for joining us, and also all the best to you and your family and your wife. So happy to hear that. And Johan had so many great quotes. I think we have to bring back boxed products because you can print so many of the quotes from Johan already on that box.
We should, definitely.
But definitely it goes on because in the chat there are already some ultras, some Jonah Weingarten ultras, and so all in capital letters. One of the comments is, "Great stuff, take all my money." So also lots of praises for the art style. Ninja Brigade better than Dark Souls. 11 out of 10. So at this point, I think we have to bring back the box product because we have already so many quotes, and at the same time, I didn't promise too much. So already our other presentations, but also this big, cool cover art. It was really a world premiere. and also, again, very cool stuff to show everything in-game. And I think I learned a lot about Japanese mythology.
Yes,
I don't know what to make with all of it, but some of it will definitely stick to my mind. And I can remember, because we also brought in Jörg Leubel as mentor for our program. It's the editor-in-chief of 4Players. And for example, Jörg was super interested because he is into Japanese mythology. And I think you are on a good direction there. So is there like a limit, or like how many creatures or things you can pull out of the Japanese mythology and into the game?
I think we've read into the mythology like over 100 creatures and decided for like a few just, but it's never ending. The Japanese mythology has like multi-million monsters to pull from, so which are one is creepier than the other.
Okay. So the DLCs are safe. So you have enough content already there.
Yes, they also have a monster with an eye in their anus, so we can definitely do that.
Okay. Again, I'm here at a quote on a package, so that's again the case. So one of the questions out of the chat. How, if at all, do you plan to attract a larger audience into this amazing world you created?
Our first plan, when Jonah, Robin, and I conceptualized this game, we thought we can bring a broader audience to the game through cross-marketing. So Jonah dragged in some players through his music, and we dragged some music fans through the game to Jonah. And Jonah is established in the American market and the Danish market because Pyramid is very big there. And we are established in Hamburg. So yeah, that's our plan for now. But what we want to do is just do the best game we can. And when we've done that, we want to go full marketing.
Okay. And I'm sure I know about you, but I'm also looking at the other team members. Is it a criteria to have like the loop of Jonah's music all the time? So do you only hear Jonah? Because like it's time of the Spotify lists of the year, so I think everybody will have a Jonah on the top there. And some other questions out of the chat. Is there happening more with the music inside the game? We hear like a small snippet already.
I cannot give away too much though. But I've got a few, maybe more cool tracks from Jonah already. We want to put them into our game, and I cannot say very much to that right now. But yeah, you will hear a lot of more music, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and we already had like lots of world premieres, so we don't need another one at this point, but we have other ones. So at this point, thank you to all the team. Thank you very much. Very cool stuff there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nico. Also, thanks to Robin, Victoria, and Annemarie, who were part of the Incubator program, and of course to the full team who's been working on this awesome game. So we already made it, sadly, to the last presentation for tonight. It's about a game that has been in the making for close to 4 years now, I think, and which has also been started by one single person who did pretty much everything with the help of friends and colleagues, and we are very happy to hear about the current state of the game Leif's Adventure from Roman from OneManOnMars.
Right, I'm standing here, or that's too close, right? You have to have 1.5
I'll be out of the way.
So I'm waiting here. Good evening, everyone. My name is Roman. I'm the creative person behind Leif's Adventure. And what is Leif's Adventure? Leif's Adventure is a 2D action adventure with an asymmetric 2-character system. So you might ask now, what the heck is this? And I think the best way to explain this just to simply show it to you. So without further ado, I'll just jump into the game. So I have to pick the right controller here and see if everything is working. So bear with me, I have to play and talk, and my brain is limited to a certain capacity, so let's see how this will go on. So yeah, let's just jump into the game. I hope the mouse is going to disappear because I don't want to have it in screen. All right. I simply start the game in the hub area. So this is the area where you will end up after, let's say, around 30 minutes. And from here on, you just jump into levels and fulfill quests and get new tasks and fight enemies and solve puzzles and so forth. So today or this evening, we're just gonna do a side quest together. So we will go to the monster grove and try to find one of the 5 ancient monsters. But first, before we start this, we have to equip ourselves. So let's head to the weapon shop. And as you can see right now, oh, wrong button. As you can see right now, I only have my hammer, and I need more stuff, and I need more space in my inventory. So I buy an expansion to my inventory. And yeah, what else would I like to use? I think it is the axe. So let's head over. So I'm gonna jump up here and go to the monster grove. Really have to be careful here. So let's see. This, by the way, is the secondary character. I can explore the area. Uh-oh, that's not how it's supposed to be. So we have to wait. Oh, no, I'm gonna use the time to get more gear because I want to have better gear. I think, actually, that we will have to wait until the lift is back, but it's coming back. But I actually really would like to start. Maggie, I think we have an issue because we're having application, actually. It's not the current one. And before we're working with this one, I actually would prefer to have the right application, the one that I sent in. So sorry for this. I'm going to talk over this little technical issue. So the main goal, the main idea behind the game is that you will play together in a team. And I already said that it's an asymmetric two-character game. And either you play this alone, so you switch between the 2 characters, or you can add a friend to your game and then play together with your friend and face the challenges together with your friend or your kid or your fiancé or whatever it is. So sorry for this hiccup. I'm going to speed up the thing because I will not have to explain everything one more time. So wake up again and come on, Leif, get out of bed. Nonetheless, I'll have to buy the weapons because it will be pretty hard without good equipment. So let's head over here and get the stuff. So, oh yeah, now we have all the stuff we need. So I have the expansion and I'm gonna buy the sword and head back. All right, very good. Oh, still have to get the gear. Now, another one is available. This is why I figured out that it might not be the right version. So I'm going to buy this gear because it gives us fire and ice protection, which will come in handy later. So right now, let's get the lift here. Where is it? Let's see. It's coming down. All right, now let's head up, and I'm gonna use my secondary character to get rid of this misty stuff here to see where I have to land. All right. Now let's talk to Donny. He's the archaeologist. Oh, that was a difficult word. I'm happy that I kind of could do it. He's gonna talk about what he's learning here on these stones. So these are the 5 ancient stones from the Monster Grove, and he's chatting about the symbols on these stones. and we will have to look for these symbols in one of the levels. So this is our main task. We will hunt down one of the ancient monsters, and this monster quest is one of the bigger quests in the game, the side quest. It's not the main storyline, but tracking down all the 5 monsters is quite an achievement. So let's just start and see if we can find one of them this evening. Oh wow, just landed here at this huge chest, but I'm not gonna take the big sword because it would way too easy with that. No, just kidding. So what do we need is an additional life potion, because it can help us if we are low on life. All right, and now finally let's simply head over to the Red Rock level. This is one of the 5 levels we will visit today. So here, small peaks in the grass. We're just running by. And yes, here again, my main character. Oh yeah, this is part of the main story. So in the main story, the queen got lost, and their soldiers they are looking for her. But we will not take care of this quest this evening. We'll just leave them alone and well, just see what they're doing here. But they will give us a hint how to progress in the game. So we see that we can hang on these balloon plants to get to higher altitude. But first, you want to fight these enemies, and oh gosh, it's not working well. No, man, actually I should have learned playing my game. I guess it's too hard for me, so I will need assistance by one of my colleagues. So please welcome David, who will support me in this co-op mode. I'm just making a bit of space.
Hi everyone.
So now we're just going to switch over to 2-player mode. I'm going to select Leif, and David is playing as the ghost. So let's just move from here on. We're not going to fight these 2 guys just because I'm still a bit afraid. But we're just going to float up, and I think we will not look too much into the pathways to the left, but just move on to the right. And David can help me now, by example, stunning this character. So the character is now stunned, and I can attack him without a problem. And I have to make sure I don't fail here. And David is also taking care of the camera, so he can look a bit ahead or into dangerous areas. And now I have to concentrate over fighting, and it's hard to talk. Yeah, now David already stunned the character, and I have to make sure to take with this sword. Okay, I have to make room. I just get rid of this one and take the other one, because it's stronger and it has the ability to deal critical damage, which is pretty helpful. Please, David, help me get rid of this. All right, now. All right, thanks for stunning the pig. And the pig is already gone. I will not take with the bat, because I just don't like the look of the weapon. And the fireplace is a safe spot. Whenever you reach the fireplace and the fire lit, and you would die, you would just start from this point on. So just fight this one as well. And now here again, David can help me just getting rid of this shooting thing, and just jumping up. And we have 2 ways to advance. I think we're going to take the lower route. So please, David, activate those 2 platforms for me. Thanks a lot. That's how teamwork works. Wow. And okay, here's that soldier dude, but we have to kind of run on, so we're not very interested in how they're progressing with their finding of the queen. But please, David, help me with unmasking this guy, because these are phantom warriors, and they're very special enemies in the game. Because as long as they are in their phantom state, you cannot attack them, and you definitely need the help of the ghost to unmask them and bring them into your world to being able to fight. And now this one here is an upgrade stone, because you can upgrade your character with new abilities. So let's just see what we have in store here. So we will get the power bomb here. So I just switched to the hammer, and now we can do this, which is pretty handy in the game. So now we have to make sure to get rid of this guy. Oh, okay, he's just flying away. Oh, shoot, one more chance. Oh, I think I'm gonna take the potion here because I'm almost out of life. Good, we bought it.
Maybe I can stun him?
No, I'm just gonna... Oh, wrong weapon. Pardon me. I have to take the short sword and...
Okay, I will protect you with my body. So
and yeah, that's very good.
Shooting you.
Now... Whoa! I think he's bombing us because you're so close to him.
Oh, okay.
So, oh yeah, come back into the pocket. Now this time it has to work, or else just fly by. We're a bit cowards here for the presentation, but now we managed to...
speed up this?
Yeah, actually, thanks a lot. You can speed up, and now I need camera lead.
Sorry.
That's all right. We will do it. Just gonna take one more, and now we float above. So now, yeah, I think this one we will get rid of easily. All right. Now let's use the upwinds here to gain altitude. And be careful, I have to really spot where the spikes are. Ooh, okay, close.
I can fly a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's very good. Help me aim the camera perfectly. Okay.
Should I activate this?
No, I'm not needing it this time. Right. So safe spot now. I'm a bit relieved because having only one heart is actually a bit problematic. So
press 2. Maybe
yeah,
I
just
can
stun this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna fight him. I need the critical damage of the sword now, but it's not. All right, cool.
Take care. You only have 1 health left.
I will take. Yeah, you will use the power bomb now because I get this new ability. Ah,
okay.
But what we could do?
Yeah, let's just swap characters.
Yeah, let's switch up because maybe you're the better player. So let's just
find it out.
Oh, wrong. This
Okay.
way.
Yeah.
All right. Now we switch characters. So I'm Ghost now, and I'm just gonna move up this platform. And here's another enemy, so beware of this one. I'm just gonna stun him. Perfect. Oh, wait a sec. I'm gonna stun the other one.
Oh, he's fast.
Alright, perfect.
Okay.
Now take care of the pig.
Yeah.
Can't stun him anymore. He's in rage mode now. But
nice.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, let's do
Alright.
this.
So you feel good with life, or you want
yeah,
to swap
I think
back?
that's okay.
Okay, good.
But maybe after this guy.
Okay, here you go. One important thing again is rolling. I'm just leaving my teammate alone here. No, we just have to stun him one more time and now finish him off. So we're gonna swap back.
Yeah,
all right.
hopefully.
But thanks for taking over. So let's switch to 2-player mode again, and here we are back with the first fermentation. And I'm gonna switch to the short weapon because short weapons are faster and you can do this handy air attack move, which is pretty helpful. Now please fly ahead a bit so I can see the platforms rotating, because this one is about the timing and you have to get this right, and it's gonna be very tricky now. But happy that it worked. So this one is another riddle because you have a lot of puzzles, and I will need one of these balloons to fly up, but when I would do that, it would the laser eyes would just shoot me down from the balloon. So please, David, release another balloon, and I'm going to speed up and try to catch it on the top of the area.
Go.
All right. Perfect.
No.
This is not how it's supposed to work, but we're giving another try because we definitely want to find this ancient monster. So
maybe we can just swap once again.
Do you want to give it a try?
Yeah, I want to try it.
Then just gonna.
Okay, come over.
Yes, go.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm just gonna follow you as good as I can. Speed up.
Oh god.
Alrighty.
We have to speed up again.
Go to this. Jump onto the block. I'm moving up.
Yeah,
that was pretty close. And here you go.
Okay. Nice. That's a safe place. Let me just activate it.
Pretty cool. I'm getting out of your lamp again, and I will activate all those balloons again. So on top we might. Perfect. I'm gonna fly ahead and see what is going. Oh, here's one of the symbols again that we were talking about before. And David has now. Oh, wait a second. I'm just gonna release a new one down here.
Yeah.
Just stay here. I'm just gonna get a new one. So there's always a second solution to a problem. So this one is pretty easy once you figured it out. And being here, just jump perfect on the balloon, and then heading to the top to see where this one leads. So at this point you actually have two ways to go to the level, and this one will give you a possibility to jump into this narrow area.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
Okay.
Damn it.
You want to switch up again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pressure.
Oh, all right. I think this was actually not really planned. We were so close before the ancient monster, but I feel that we kind of ran out of time, so we're not going to show you the ancient monster here, but totally make sure to kind of follow us on all the social media platforms like Twitter or Instagram, join us on Discord, and you will definitely learn more about the game. Being here, I would like to really give a shout out to all and everyone that supported me on my journey until here, because I've never would have made it here without your support. So thanks to all of the teammates, to friends and family, and especially thanks to you from Game City. It was awesome support for the last 3 months. Thanks to all the mentors, and thanks to the other team members from the other incubator teams. It was a really cool journey. And yeah, I think that would be the end of the presentation. And
thanks very much to both of you. I think that was an awesome display of really co-op play, like you guys switching around. And I don't think it was planned that you switch players.
No.
But you seemed very harmonic in doing that, and yeah, worked pretty well. Thanks for this last presentation for tonight. If you out there want to play Life's Adventure yourself, it is on Steam with a free demo. Go download it and of course wishlist it if you like it. But first of all, we would like to hear feedback and questions from the viewers, and of course from one of our mentors again, who was also part of the awarding committee. So here tonight to give some feedback to especially Roman, who is developing that game, is Wolf Lang, CEO of Supercrowd. Hi Wolf, great to have you here.
Hi guys. Wonderful presentation as always, Roman. Actually just look up the first time we had contact via email, and it's supposed to be like, I think it's 4 years ago or something. Mm-hmm. And first time that I saw your email, I was like, who is that guy? He has never been like in a bigger game studio before. He's not been part of the active indie scene so far, but you wrote a really cool mail and you know what you were doing, and I was thinking, cool, I will keep it on my radar. And then you've really been a part of the Indie Arena booth, which was amazing and really, really cool seeing how the game developed over the time. It showed that you have the passion, that you stick to the product, that you believed in the vision, and it constantly got bigger and better and bigger. And I was actually kind of happy that the committee decided to make you part of the incubator, because you've already been like so advanced in your development. And I think we all had the question, would you take this mission serious? Will you take something out of it? Because there's a lot of mentorship that's really for, I wouldn't say the beginners, but the people that are just entering the industry. And I think it was extremely nice that you've been like the beacon of like, I'm so close of making my game and bringing it out to market and bringing in so much balance into the whole team, from the youngster that made the first game, and you've been like in front of them and close to the release. And I'm really impressed what you did in the 3 months. And I'm actually also, I'm a bit too impressed, because you did what I never did so far in 12 years of pitching games and looking at pitches. You did the whole presentation inside your game engine in the midterm presentation. That was really memorable and extremely good. So yeah, that made me extremely happy because it showed like how much passion you have inside this game and the product. And I wish you all the best for the next month, because they told me the game will be out soonish. So I'm quite excited about the game. And thanks so much for being part of the incubator, sharing all this wisdom. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, Walt, for these very warm words. I really appreciate it. And thank you for reminding me that I have to shout out and say the game will be out in Q2 if everything goes well. So yeah, maybe I have said it, but if not, twice is better.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you very much, Wolf, for joining tonight. And also on Miro, lots of comments for Life's Adventure, and also in the direction what Wolf just said. So, for example, Life has come quite a way. Beautiful music, great art style. It looks so nice, looks so promising. Quite a lot of movements, effects, details in there. And also a question out of the comments. How many different biomes or worlds are there in Life's Adventure?
There are actually 6 quite huge worlds. There are around 30 to 50 minutes to play through if you just go through the main area. And the starting area you will visit at the very end, so there will be 7 in total, but one is kind of, you will be in there twice. Yeah, that's the number in there. So I'm aiming around 6 to 10 hours play time in total.
Yeah, and we saw it tonight. There was like the seamlessly change between the players and the characters. So can you play it in couch co-op then? So it's meant to play it.
Yeah, exactly. This kind of the idea behind it is that you play it together, maybe with someone that is not a gamer at heart, because this is one of the advancement of this system, that the secondary character cannot take any damage. So no one has to be afraid to kind of holding up anyone. You just can play along and play together with a more experienced player. So the idea of playing a hardcore gamer with a more casual gamer together is the heart of the game.
And we learned a demo is already out on Steam. And are you also aiming for other platforms for the game?
Yeah, the game will be released on Nintendo Switch and Steam, and thereafter I'm looking into all possible platforms like Xbox, PlayStation, Stadia, and whatever there is. And yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a short demo on Steam already, and there will be more demos coming along, I guess, early next year.
Okay, then maybe last question out of the chat tonight, because it was asked there in the very beginning. Is there any kind of merchandise? Because there are fans out there of shirts and sweaters.
Yeah, definitely. Head over to the website, so it's lifesadventure.com, and there's a button to the merch shop, and you can get this motif or this one, or there are many others as well, and they will follow even more later in the dev cycle.
All right. Thank you very much, David. Thank you very much, Roman. And yeah.
Thanks for having us.
The applause is for you. All right. We have seen tonight 5 games from 5 amazing teams. And yeah, Maggie and me, yeah, we are also so thankful that it was by these 5 teams here in the room, because for us it was like the first edition of the Games Lift Incubator, and we couldn't have asked for better teams, because you were like, yeah, I don't want to say percent, but maybe what I wanted to say is like, you are like 90% of the incubator, like, so when the teams are on it, and when we see like what kind of progress they made, yeah, then we are more than happy to see what we had in our minds early this year, that it worked out. And so at this point, yeah, we are already looking forward for next year, because we will have like this incubator program for the years to come here in Hamburg, and you set the bar. So every teams which come in later into this incubator, they have to be as good as you guys are. And I already heard it earlier today when you talked. You talked about like, yeah, will we still have this Discord group and so on. And yeah, we can only encourage you, stay in contact with us. And also like when we bring in more teams for the next years, I think we will have like a bigger community here. even bigger than now. And also a big thank you and shout out for everybody watching tonight, and also comment on Miro. This is again your chance. If you would like to leave any kind of comment, any ideas about the games, then head over to the Miro board, grab a sticky note, put your thoughts on it, and leave it there. And as we said earlier today, you will find all contact data. And I think there are lots of good reasons for contacting these teams. So this is your chance. It's up to you what you make out of it. Yes.
Yeah, and we actually want to thank a couple of people, all the people who have made this first edition of the Games Lift Incubator a success. First, the City of Hamburg and the Ministry of Culture and Media for making all of this possible for us. Then, of course, our awarding committee, Anne Beutenmüller, Jens Unrau, Tobias Kringel, and Wolf Lang, who have accompanied our teams from the very beginning, from the application phase until today. It was great to have two of you here in our stream tonight. A huge thank you to all of our mentors and coaches. You are the ones who, besides the teams, really shaped the program with all the knowledge and all the input you gave, and yeah, made it really fun to have the mentoring meet and greets as well as all the workshops. I know that many of you mentors are watching tonight and cheering for our teams. Thank you for that as well. We'd also like to thank Jan Bojarin, who has documented the full Games Lift ride for us in our Incubator log. So if you haven't read his articles yet, head to our website, gamecityhamburg.de, and check out the Incubator log, where you get an insight into the life inside the Games Lift Incubator. We also thank the Design Export and Hamburg Kreativ Gesellschaft, all of our colleagues there, for having us here tonight in this lovely space. Thank you to the whole team of Game City, to Simon and his camera team for making this live stream possible. Great job. And last but very much not least, also from my side, big thank you to the 5 teams or the 11 individuals who have participated in the incubator this year. I know you've worked really hard. Thanks for that. Thanks for your presentations tonight. And yeah, most of all, thanks for 3 awesome months. It was really fun working with you. As Dennis said, you set the bar really high. And yeah, we will keep cheering you on and keep in contact with you.
I don't have a microphone. I just talk loud. We will have the last word when it comes to thanks. So we prepared a little something for you. This is a poster that you can hang in the office maybe with all the key arts from our game.
That's awesome. I have to hold it into the camera. Thank you. I love those art styles. That looks great. Thanks, teams.
And it comes with a card and a promise, because we definitely need to go out party once it's possible.
Yes, we have to do that next summer. Thanks so much. That's really sweet of you.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. It was really a blast.
It was. So everyone watching at home, if you want to be part of the next Games Lift Incubator, we will have one in the following years. The next application phase will begin around June 2021. So make sure to join our Discord server, follow us on social media, or sign up for our monthly newsletter so you won't miss it and you stay tuned. Thanks very much for watching tonight. Thanks to the teams. Thanks to everyone, and have a great night.